I think we'll just wait another minute for everybody to join the breakout room. Can you hear me okay?
Yeah, good afternoon. I'm Melissa.
Yes.
Yeah, good afternoon, sir.
Kurt, ESCAP.
Yeah, this is Ron Bahadur.
Hello, Mayor.
Yes.
So it looks like we have, let's see, the mayor of Mali, the mayor of Suriodaya, and the mayor of Banda Aceh. Is that correct?
Mm.
Okay, and we have a colleague from ESCAP who will work through the Miro board for us. So you don't need to actually write anything. We're just going to discuss the challenge here in front of us. Again, this is a hypothetical situation, but something that is relevant to many cities across the region. So if I could, I want to make sure that you're all unmuted so that we can have an open discussion here. I see we're also joined, let's see, by Fernando. Welcome, Fernando. We have Indonesia, Nepal with us, correct? I thought I saw the mayor of Male earlier. Mayor of Male from Maldives with us? Okay. All right, well, perhaps he'll join back. So, mayors, I think you know the scenario here, but let me just go over it. You receive a warning that the upcoming rainy season is anticipated to worsen the persistent flooding issues in your community, highlighting the urgent need for climate resilience measures. The areas most vulnerable to flooding are those already burdened with socioeconomic challenges, including low-income neighborhoods and informal settlements where adequate infrastructure and housing conditions prevail. As the city experiences rapid population growth and sprawling urban expansion, existing infrastructure struggles to cope with the mounting pressures of extreme weather events. So every time there is a weather event, you're seeing failing infrastructure and a significant impact on the most vulnerable of your communities. So there are dire consequences, obviously, for health, human safety, and economic stability. The previous administration, which you cannot take credit for, but the previous administration left you without any real comprehensive disaster prevention or response strategies. So it is incumbent upon you as the mayor of this community to really lead both the response and the preparation against future threats posed by climate change, including displacement of populations, including in informal settlements, preparations for health and disease response, and planning for infrastructure, both in terms of repair and planning and financing new infrastructure. Proactive urban planning interventions are needed to mitigate the risks of flooding and enhance the overall resilience and adaptive capacity of your city. So there are a few questions here under the considerations. First, how will you coordinate with state and non-state actors? So national governments, state governments, as well as civil society, grassroots groups, private sector, to all be part of the recovery efforts. What resources would you deploy to address the crisis? That's both financial and non-financial resources, including the human resource capacity of the local government. And then how will you address the immediate needs and long-term recovery? And again, as in the previous scenario last time, we don't want you to focus on the technical solution. We want you to focus on what can a mayor do to solve these problems. Who will you bring together? What executive actions will you take? And then how will you implement both immediate, short-term, midterm, and long-term solutions? Is the scenario understood?
Yeah.
Yes? Okay.
Yeah.
So maybe we just open the floor first for any of the mayors. The first question, how will you coordinate with state and non-state actors? In other words, what stakeholders will you engage in this effort?
Myself, first, we'll do coordinate with the stakeholders, including we have in our municipality, Nepal Police, Nepal Army, Armed Police Force, Red Cross, RRT, all the concerned section of the municipality, and we have the community development organization in our municipality. So it is very important to make the meeting and prepare ourselves, and it is very important to the coordinate with the districts. We have there in the district, every district there it's 10 municipality levels, 10 local levels. So there is coordinating committee in the district levels. So we have also the mapping, disaster risk mapping. So according to the risk mapping, we have do the standby for our concerned authorities. This is the actors is the municipality.
Thank you. Mayor Bandanache, you have anything you'd like to add? You're muted. Mayor, I think you're muted. Can you unmute?
Okay, maybe with the industry and the university also.
Another community.
And the community and media also.
Community and media.
Mhm.
Okay.
Okay, thank you.
Can we dive a little bit into the response here? So, Mayor from Sriodaya, you mentioned essentially convening the government emergency management officials. That was, I think, what the focus was, the police and others. And then you had disaster response, which included Red Cross, so NGOs or civil society as well. And then coordinating with other districts or municipalities, which also might be affected. Okay. And then Mayor Bandanache included industry and university colleagues, as well as community organizations and media. Can we talk a little bit about what are the platforms to do so? So there's a government response and there's a broader community level engagement that you want to facilitate. How are you planning on doing that? Is it a task force of government officials that you set up to advise the mayor? Or do you start with public meetings where you bring everyone together? Again, can you lay out maybe some of the steps that you would take to convene all of these groups? Because convening lots of different stakeholders can be messy, or can be very effective depending on how you do that. So, Mayor from Nepal, if you would talk a little bit about how you would convene, and what powers of the mayor's office would you use specifically?
Yeah, we have the policy also in our municipality, municipality policy for the disasters and risks. Also, we have the framework, local level disaster risks and climate resilient framework we have.
Okay, if I could stop you, if I could interrupt, I'm sorry. This scenario is not your city. So you pretend as if you are the mayor in a city that doesn't have those things. And the scenario indicated that the previous administration, who was responsible before you came into office in this hypothetical community, did not have any of those things. So how do you go about creating those responses that you're laying out?
First, we have to make the planning for the disaster preparedness planning. especially these are the preparedness planning for the disasters, and flooding management, and suppose there is flooding and we have to do the preparedness planning in our municipality. So it is very important, and the stakeholders, this is very important, including that's what I told in before. Those are the stakeholders we included to make effective actions.
Okay.
Also, we can coordinate with the districts and district levels, and also the province levels governments. District levels, there is a representative from the district level and the provincial governments.
Okay. Mayor from Banda Aceh, anything to add?
Okay.
Yes.
Maybe sit together with all the stakeholders and explain what the problem is that we are fit in our city. Ask them one by one, what is the word is the solution.
Okay. All right. So we have a continued coordination with emergency response, with planning officials, engaging the community, and then coordination as well with other municipalities.
Also we can learn from the past experience also.
Okay.
Suppose what we had the past experience COVID-19, and in our municipality this is open borders. So what we learned from there, and the previous the disaster like flooding, that flooding, what we learned from that flooding, according to that past experience, we can make our plan accordingly.
Okay. Let's talk a little bit about the plan. What information do you need as a government official to formalize that plan? And what information would you be sharing with the community as part of the awareness raising and preparation of the community? So specifically, maybe what data do you need as the mayor to make a decision on how to proceed? And then how do you engage the community in using that information?
It depends on the our risks. Suppose in our municipality we have the risk mapping, and first what we did to make the planning, we went in each and every the wards. We have the 14 wards in our municipality. So we went there, and we first what we did, we had the stakeholder meetings, first page. Then second, we make the planning how to go in the field. What is the types of the types of the risks, types of the disasters, and we the prioritized 1, 2, and according to the prioritized, we start to making the mapping, the word mapping. In the each and every word we have the 14 words. Every words had different types of the risks. Every types different, and the different types of the disasters. According to the disaster and risks, we do the preparation to tackle that.
Okay. So again, let's remember that we're talking now about a fictional community, not your city. But I think you pointed out some important things. The first thing you would do, I think, was stakeholder meetings and risk mapping.
Yeah.
The data for the risk mapping, is that all within the municipality? Do you have all of that information to complete the risk mapping within within a government? Or do you need to engage either consultants, the national government, universities, researchers? Who needs to be engaged in that risk mapping?
Yeah, in Nepal there is a federal governments. We have the three level of the governments. One is the local level governments, and another is state and the central government. Then we have the rights according to the our constitutions, and there is the rights. What are the rights with the state government? According to our constitutional jurisdictions, we do our works. But in this, risk and disaster, we have the sharing data with the NDRRMA, and NDRRMA means it is looking for the disaster risk reduction authorities of Nepal. So
Okay.
we are using their tools, software, and we are the one municipality who are completely, linking with that NDRRMA,
Okay.
Nepal Disaster Risk Reductions Management Authority. So
Okay.
these
All right.
tools we are using, yeah.
Okay, the breakout room is going to close in about 20 seconds. So I just want to summarize here. The disaster response, you would convene all the emergency management officials. You would coordinate with other districts who would be impacted. You would develop a coordination mechanism with local and state and central government. You would undertake stakeholder meetings and do risk mapping.